Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. We have a one-shot from Reckoning of the Dead. I changed the name so as not to give away anything about the story. We're calling it Should Have Taken Greyhound, but I'll put the original title in the credits. It was written by Matt Ryan and Noah Lloyd, and I will be the GM. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. It's March 2021, and you find yourselves on a bus from San Francisco heading towards the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's a 4-day trip, and at this point, you are a bit uncomfortable. There are only so many ways to shift your weight in these padded seats. Fortunately, the bus is almost empty. It's about 7:30 p.m., and your last rest stop was about an hour ago back in Springfield, Missouri. The bus is traveling through some woodlands that make the landscape black between the trees, and the last dying echoes of sunlight are slowly fading into the purple of night. Your bus driver for the first leg of this journey was a fellow named Pete Markowitz, who seemed to dislike his job considerably. But he got off in Springfield and was replaced by a much more amiable middle-aged driver who cheerfully greeted everyone and seemed to be composed of endless smiles. He even whistled along with some of the radio tunes. The rest of you have moved around to your seats, trying to get comfortable. You still have 2 days to go. What would you like to do?
What's the new bus driver's name?
Where did it go? Carmack Lee.
Okay. And has he been talking with us, or?
Yeah, if you guys slide up towards the front of the bus and chit-chat with him, he's chit-chattyable.
Okay. Oh, this ride could not end soon enough. Oh.
Well, we still got a couple of days to go.
Yeah?
It'll be over soon.
You going to be with us all the way to Philly, or the driver change out again?
That depends on the scheduling department, but yeah, probably all the way.
I don't know how you do it. How long you been doing this?
Oh, for years and years and years. I don't remember how many years.
Yeah.
What you heading out there for?
I just needed to get out of Cali. Just sometimes place is right for you, and sometimes it's wrong for you. People make mistakes.
Is this radio station okay? I don't know what kind of music you people like to listen to. Any requests?
Any chance that, despite the fact we're in the middle of the United States, that it's not country or the Bible?
Probably.
Yeah, I think I get something.
Hits of the 70s and 80s.
That's a pretty good choice.
It's probably the best we're going to get based on. I'm originally Midwestern, so I know what to expect. Yeah. I chose the wrong coast too. Hopefully, the east side will be nicer.
What was your name again?
I'm Dan.
Dan,
and I'm Robert. And yeah, it's just man.
These are all moving out here permanently then. I guess I'm the only one going down for the climbing festival.
The which
Anyone
festival?
familiar?
Which festival?
Climbing festival in Philadelphia.
Climate?
Climbing.
Oh.
Rail Rock. No one familiar?
What kind of climbing is there to be done in Philadelphia?
Oh, they have a festival there every year. Yeah, I'm not long graduated. Majored in history myself, and yeah, want to sort of get rid of the spare tire. So I'm meeting a couple of friends down there, having a nice healthy week. Name's Jordan, by the way.
Anna.
Jordan. Anna.
Nice to meet you.
Robert.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's funny. I think you'd have a climbing festival somewhere in the West where there were things to climb other than bricks.
Or somewhere in the Appalachians.
I'm just hoping it's mostly not indoors. But hey, all my friends are going to be there, and that's what I'm there for.
Well, that's good, but I would be sorely disappointed if I would, bust all across country to go climb something indoors. You could go to a gym for that.
Yeah, if only my friends lived much closer to me, but here we are.
Next time, go to Utah, much closer. It's where I grew up. Climbing's great.
Utah. I'll have to keep that in mind.
So
what's your stories?
Well, I'm from Cali myself, born and raised, and life was good for a time, really freaking awesome for a short time, and now, yeah. Some people say the lottery's cursed. They're right.
Well, if you're feeling like spilling any of those secrets soon, we're going to be stuck together for the next 2 days.
Well, it's actually for the first time, and I can't remember how long someone hasn't come up to me and just laughed at me into my face or told me I'm some type of lecherous creep. I was just a school teacher, and hey, the jackpot got high enough. I bought a lottery ticket. I won big. I didn't get the biggest jackpot, but hey, millions are millions, right? That was awesome. It was sweet. And, I figured, well, jobs, okay. Apartments, okay. It's small, but San Francisco. So what do I want? And, lawyer says I shouldn't mention her name anymore, but there's a particular actress. She's famous, and I adore her, and I showered her with a lot of gifts. And I'll skip along a little bit. I have to leave California, and lost all my money in legal expenses.
Yeah, I have heard that the outcomes of sudden wealth are often terrible. Maybe it's awkward to tell you after that disclosure that I'm a graduate student in psychology. So, there you go. But sorry, if it makes you feel any better, I am also changing coasts because of a disastrous situation that came out of a romantic situation that once seemed good.
Mm.
And in my case, I guess some of your difficulties came from a lack of proximity, and mine came from an excess of proximity. You really shouldn't date people in the same graduate program. You really shouldn't.
Just trying to find my Aunt Mary.
Oh, what happened?
Nothing happened to her. Honestly, I met her when I was really, really little. And so I don't really even have much of a recollection of her. I just have a name and Philly. And I'm going to try to find her.
Philadelphia is really Catholic. There's got to be a lot of Marys there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, hopefully I can look her up or something. And
why now?
Well, I mean, you're not the only one running from something. This is the second time running away from something for me. I left Utah 3 years ago. My parents, they didn't approve of my choices, and there was talk of boarding school or marrying a good man to curb my unnatural thoughts, and I knew I had to get out of there. And I've been just working in San Francisco, and a couple of days ago the other chick that works with me said somebody was asking for me at the diner, and I knew it was my dad just by the description, so I had to get out. And like my whole life, my mom, anytime Aunt Mary gets brought up, it's just that she's worldly and lives in sin in Philadelphia. So I'm hoping that, maybe she'll accept another black sheep and help me get on my feet before
I like how worldly and sinful are in the same sentence. She's not provincial or insular. It's all wrong, I tell you. Sorry, didn't mean to make fun of your situation.
Could use a little laughter, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't laugh, you cry.
Exactly.
Did you know it's illegal in Cali for a private investigator to tell you where a celebrity lives? I didn't know.
What about all those tours?
Yeah, I was about to say, can't you just look them up?
The people who see, I know this now. I wish I had known it prior to losing, 7 figures of money, but that's neither here nor there. The ones that are on the tours, a lot of them are like, oh, it's so awful. Oh, those star tours. Well, if you didn't want your house to be found, why'd you buy it in your name, which is public record? Why didn't you just have your lawyer come up with a corporation that owns your house?
Yeah, we'll live and learn. Usually not that expensive, but life is precarious.
Dan, are you changing schools, or is this just a move out east for you?
Yeah, I transferred. We can't be in the same program. It's going to cost me some time and some money, but not as much as the sanity I was going to lose trying to stay in a graduate school with my ex-girlfriend under the circumstances under which we parted. There was, it was not. I'll be better off leaving other associations behind, and vice versa. Like,
oh, your social circles were I bet they're all on top of each other.
Yeah. And in insular worlds like, psychotherapy, like that's, your schoolmates are also your peers, are also the people who judge you and approve you and don't approve you. And so it can get.
Also, it's not like you could go to like couples therapy or even therapy for yourself, because you would probably run into a colleague.
There's a distinct possibility. I mean, or we would end up, criticizing the therapist after each session, and that is not probably productive.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I sort of didn't expect to be the only one going out here for a bit of rest and relaxation, but hey, that's life.
I envy you, Jordan. That's nice. That trip, that just sounds nice.
I'm sure we can all do something nice if we're stopping in Philadelphia.
Well,
take your mind off all the gross badness in the world.
I'm looking forward to an authentic cheesesteak. And don't call it a Philly cheesesteak there. Don't get upset. Just call it a cheesesteak.
I hear that Chinatown there is really good too. It's not all watered down and touristy. So I hear.
Well, Cali also has really good China food, but yeah.
As you guys are sitting there, the bus makes some odd noises. You can hear the air brakes make that sort of hissing sound a couple of times, and the bus lurches just a little bit. And Carmack puts his hand up and he says, "Nothing to worry about, folks. Just a little temperamental."
Okay, that's good. What's the road like that we're on? Is it this winding highway, or is it just flat? And
you're in a woodland area.
Woodland area. Okay.
So it's pretty much you're in a canyon of trees.
Okay.
Not many other people on the road right now. Not out here on the highway. The engine makes some odd noises. Do any of you have mechanical repair?
I'll take a look back.
I mean, I've based 10 points in it.
I'm a language arts teacher. 10.
Yeah, base 10
Want me to
also.
roll for it?
Well, you can roll your thing and see if you get lucky.
Okay, sure.
Nope, 37.
Engines are the big heavy metal thing that uses old dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. Nobody.
No, I rolled a 0 on one of my die, but it was the wrong die.
All right. Well, it's given some odd scraping sounds, almost like the odd sounds when you accidentally try to start your car after your car's already been started.
Yes.
You hear some noises like that, and he says, Carmack says, folks, hold on just a minute. And you feel the car, the truck, the bus sort of moving over to the side of the road. And he pulls it over and slows down and stops the bus. And he stands up and he says, now, everything's going to be fine. It's best that you all stay calm and, not panic or anything. And
why would we panic?
There's a mechanic box up here on the side of the bus, and he reaches up and he opens it up, and he pulls out what looks like an oxygen mask and puts it over his face. And then he reaches up and he turns a little valve, and as he does, suddenly this smoke starts coming out of the vents.
Hey, what is this?
And before you can actually react, you start to feel very drowsy, and everything goes black.
I think we just got our organs harvested or something.
All right. This first part I'll give you applies to all of you, but then I'll go to each of you individually. You start to wake up, and as you're waking up, you feel quite comfortable, as if you'd been sleeping in your home bed and you'd had a good night's sleep. But you don't stretch. Your eyes slowly open, and you realize that you're laying on your back in a room that has no features. It's white concrete. It's a small room, maybe 7 by 7, very tight, with a steel door in one end, and you are strapped down to this bed. You don't feel nauseous and you don't feel sick. There's a night table with a small lamp and a glass of water, and you are strapped down to this bed. Dan, what would you like to do?
So so the straps, are they leather? Are they cloth?
They seem to be made out of cloth, like burlap or something like that.
And when I wiggle, there's no give. They're attached to the bed.
There's a little bit of give.
Yeah.
Is there a band the room is very cramped, so you're literally right up against your shoulders, right up against the night table.
And there's maybe a band upper arm, and then a band around my.
There's a band around your chest, and a band, keeping your hands and your legs down. So there's 3 bands in all.
I'm still dressed as I was in the bus?
No. You are now in some sort of medical, whatever they put, the smock things they put on patients. A gown, a medical gown.
And you said it's an uncolored concrete little room?
It's white. It's white concrete.
Painted white. All right. And there's fluorescent light?
Yes, the fluorescent light is sunk into the ceiling, so it's a flush ceiling, but with a white panel up there.
Is there there's a lamp on the table? Is the table have a drawer?
You can't see. You can't lean over far enough to see.
And I can't see anything like a clipboard.
You can't.
Or any other text. And is it quiet?
Completely dead silent. And you vaguely can smell like antiseptic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm afraid but I don't feel any pain or discomfort or
no.
The scratch of fresh stitches. All right, I'm gonna is there any cover on top of me?
No.
But it's comfortably warm for my poor bare feet?
It seems to be right at room, like body temperature, or it's not body temperature. It's very comfortable. You don't feel anything.
I'm going to work on shifting my weight until I can try to free a hand. I'm not going to make a peep.
Go ahead and use a strength roll.
That's the characteristic I took points out of. But I rolled a normal success anyway, 33 for 45.
Okay. You find that by trying to shift your weight and wiggle, your shoulders actually banging up against that that nightstand, and you've almost toppled the glass over. But you think you might, with more struggling, you might be able to get your hand free.
And the other side is like up against the concrete wall?
Yes.
God damn it. Yeah, I really don't want to alert my captor, Carmack, and his friends. By knocking over a glass of water, which might be there just for that reason, since it's pretty hard to pour a glass of water into somebody who's prone. And I am prone. It's not a medical bed that's tilted up. It's
correct.
Flat.
You are flat.
Yeah. That might be a sort of cheap alarm system. I'm gonna, in movies like Misery, where like they have a chance to escape in the first 20 minutes. Like, don't try to escape in the first 20 minutes because you've got 4 more acts to get through. And don't scream and bang on the wall for help like the neighbors are going to come. Obviously, if you've been gassed on a bus, like these people know what they're doing. So I'm going to try to I'm going to scooch like back and ass and leg muscles, try to pull my whole body a little bit lower to give myself enough room to free that arm without hitting the table.
Okay.
And this is going to be a while, so.
All right, we'll get back to you. Anna, you find yourself in the same situation, almost identical. In fact, you are in your room. There's a nightstand with a glass of water on it. But you have the odd sensation that something is wrong with your vision, like there is a black spot. These rooms are all very well lit. But there seems to be an area of darkness. And as you move your head, it moves with you. And when you turn your head all the way to the side, it gets lighter, and then it gets darker and lighter as you're moving your head like this, and you don't have any idea what's causing this bizarre effect. How do you want to try and escape?
And I'm not in the same room with anyone else, right?
No,
Okay.
you're in an identical
All right.
room, but somewhere else.
Going to look around and then help, help, help.
Okay. You're yelling help. All right. Let's jump to Mark. Jordan.
Yes.
You find yourself in the same situation, and you find that you keep grabbing a hold of the straps that are tying you down, and trying to work them loose. What else would you like to try?
The room is the same layout as previously described, right?
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay, and I've obviously tried to shimmy my body to get straps
Yeah,
loose.
and you seem to be fairly dexterous. Go ahead and do a dexterity roll.
No, that's a great big fail.
Okay. You think that if you wiggle long enough, you might be able to work at least something free. But you're also banging up against the table and the glass. You notice that the glass is sitting there. Your glass is empty, however.
Right, and the straps look like they're made of
Cloth. Yeah.
cloth, right? I mean, he's pretty much subdued at this point, so I think I'm just going to keep doing the same tactic.
Okay.
Try not to knock the glass over.
Okay. And then Robert,
Okay.
same situation. You can smell very distinctly the smell of what smells like antiseptic and maybe formaldehyde in the air. And everything seems kind of, I don't know, the sounds in the room, maybe it's the fact that you're locked in a little square room, that every time you make a noise or you bump something, it echoes off the walls in a very strange manner. But you're strapped down just the same as everyone else.
Well, being a language arts teacher, I immediately think of the pit and the pendulum and the Gerald's game, and then I remember how that lady got out of the handcuff in Gerald's game. All right. So first, hello, hello.
Okay.
Is anyone there?
So you're
Help!
Also yelling.
Help! And then I'm just gonna try first. Your leg muscles are stronger than your arm muscles, so I'm gonna try just kicking a lot, squirming out of the leg part of the restraints.
Okay. Do a strength roll.
Okay. 13. That is success.
Okay.
Might be extreme successful, but
you start jerking your legs, and you feel the straps begin to tear just a little bit.
Yes.
And you realize that in a few more tugs and pulls, you might be able to get your feet free, at least. That might give you a little more leverage to pull yourself out.
Right. Well.
Dan, as you are attempting to get out, you suddenly hear Anna's voice coming from nearby, maybe to your right, through the wall.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's good that she hasn't been harvested yet. That's at least one survivor. I'm not going to answer though. I'm just gonna keep twisting.
All right.
Because the only chance I have is to like smack somebody in the head with a lamp, which I can't do unless I've got surprise. That's my. I mean, this is an elaborate situation. This is not something. This is not improvised.
All right. So as you are, but you're still trying to struggle and work your way out. Yeah. You realize that you can sort of grab a hold of the edge of the bed and move yourself up and down just a little bit out from under the strap. It's going to take some maneuverability. So do like a fighting brawl. We'll call it a maneuver.
50, 21. That's a hard success.
All right. So as you're pulling yourself down, you put one of your hands on the edge of the bed and you're pulling really hard in order to get yourself to move down. And you put this other hand on this side of the bed. You're going to pull it down and you put your other hand up here against the wall and you start pushing. And as you come out from the strap, you suddenly realize you have 3 arms.
The wrong number of hands.
One is coming out of the back of the center of your back. Holly, Anna. So you're calling out for help, but you're not hearing anything. You get frustrated after a few moments.
I'm going to start trying to, oh, sorry. I'm going to start trying to shimmy out of it, and I'm panicking now.
Okay. Why don't you also do a maneuver?
Is that
fighting
brawl,
brawl?
You said?
Fighting brawl, yeah.
I can spend some luck on this. I'm going to spend some luck and make it a success.
You can always spend luck.
Yes. Okay. I will make it a success.
All right. You also, in a very similar fashion, begin to shimmy your way out of the bed. And as soon as your head has cleared the body strap and you've gotten yourself down, you can sort of set up and you can get the rest of you out. Now, there's something definitely wrong with your vision, but there's no more black spot. You can clearly see, almost fisheye-like, everything in the room. You can see all the walls. You can see your hand, doing this. But even looking away from the lamp, you can still see the lamp. The feeling is as if everything is sort of crammed into your field of vision completely. It's disorienting, but it's not completely disorienting. Jordan. What are you going to do?
Jordan is going to keep persisting and doing what he was doing before.
All right, maneuver, the same as
brawl.
Yeah, fighting brawl.
Yes, that's a hard success as well.
All right. You're having trouble with maneuvering your legs, but you're able to get your hands out. And after a few moments, you've managed to slide out from underneath the straps. To your horror, your first horror, your knees seem to be on backwards. Your legs are bending in the other direction instead of forward, almost like a grasshopper's legs.
That's disgusting. I take it that's a sanity loss.
You can take a sanity loss, but you also take a sanity loss because you realize now you also have thumbs on this side of your hands.
So what, I have like 6 digits or literally the
Correct.
thumbs on it? Oh, that's gross. Yeah, that's a pass, though. Apparently, it's not that shocking.
Okay. Still, you'd probably take a couple of points of sanity loss. Robert.
Yes, sir.
You could do the same thing, maneuver, if you're trying to get out.
Yeah, I'm going to maneuver. And I don't know if possible. I was thinking maybe could try and like grab one of the arm straps with like a foot, but I don't know if that's flexible. No.
No. Okay, so you continue yelling and trying to get loose. At this point, you can all hear him somewhere out there also yelling. You think that's Robert. Dan, you have managed to stand up. You feel normal, except you've got an extra arm. You can't see if there's sutures or stitches or what. And it almost seems natural. You can control it, and you don't even know how you're doing this. It's just acting like another arm. You're muted.
I can reach around from my hand from behind and tap myself on the head.
And scratch your own butt.
More readily than ever before. Yeah, I can make a fist, and it feels like a body part that I recognize, which is insane because there's no part of my brain that should respond to those signals, even if a perfectly functional arm were attached to me. So the steel door of my cell, it's barred.
Doesn't seem to be.
It's flat steel.
It's flat steel.
Is there a food hole?
There is a food hole at the bottom. But there's also a handle, and you don't see any kind of locking mechanism, at least not on this side.
And there's a lamp on the table, even though there's permanent overhead light in this room.
Correct.
Can I unplug that lamp?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna pick up that lamp with my new hand.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll for sand loss, by the way.
Yeah, you can do sand loss.
I rolled a 31, so what? I'll just take 2.
Take a couple.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's gonna get worse. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of weigh that lamp in my new hand, which is pretty easy to hide. And I'm gonna try the door handle or knob and look into the hall.
The door handle does seem to open.
All right. Concrete arched tunnel hallway.
It appears to be a very plain, painted white, almost military look to it.
Cinder blocks?
Steel corridor, yeah, cinder blocks. It doesn't go very far, but there are 4 doors on each. Well, I'm sorry, you're one of those doors. You're the farthest door on the. Let's see, from where you're standing, it would be on the right. There's a door directly across from you, and there are 3 more on each side. So there's 4 doors and 4 doors.
Yeah, so it's an 8-door hallway, and I can account for 4 possible. I've heard 2 of them. And then each end of that is another steel door?
There is nothing right next to where you are, so it's a blank wall.
Okay.
And at the other end, you can see what look like almost like elevator doors.
Uh-huh, okay.
There's no windows.
And there's no exposed wiring anywhere except
Nothing.
for the... Yeah, it's all very smooth. Is the floor concrete or steel or?
The floor seems to be concrete.
All right. Well, I'm gonna open the door opposite me and see if I can release one of my presumed busmates.
Okay. So from where you're standing, you can tell that Anna should be in the room on your side next to you.
I'll go to the left door then first.
Okay. You go to that door and it is open. And as you open the door, Anna is inside. Anna, you see him suddenly open the door.
Dan, thank God. Oh God, thank God.
No cameras we've seen? I haven't seen any cameras down here.
No cameras.
What is happening?
Dan, do a spot hidden for me.
$50, 28.
Okay. You suddenly, as you're standing there, you're both in hospital gowns. You look down and you realize that Anna's feet have been replaced with hands. She has hands above and below. Anna, do a spot hidden.
No.
Yeah, he's all right. So I assume, Dan, that you whispered to her. Okay. You all can hear what sounds like Robert. He sounds like he's down at the end of the hall, closest to the things in a room over there.
I don't deserve this. Help!
And is
Jordan.
Is Anna she's free of her restraints?
Yeah, she's
okay.
she's worked her way out.
All
She
right.
was
And
just standing up as you opened the door.
standing up, which must feel strange. Yeah, so I introduced her to what I know about myself.
Dan, what happened to you, Dan?
You have to look down. You have to look down. Sorry.
Yeah. Anna, you can do another spot hidden.
And I just failed a sand roll for Anna's hand feet.
Extreme success.
At this point, you guys are thinking weird shit. So just take 2 more points of sanity damage. Anna, as Dan is showing you his extra arm, I mean, you can see that it's been stitched on. But the sutures look like they've healed a bit. So it must have been, you must have been in here longer than what it seems like.
How long have they had us down here?
At the same time, when Dan says something to you, you look at him and you're like, Dan, what's wrong with your teeth? And when he opens his mouth, it looks like his teeth have been removed and then put back in again, but in the wrong order. And they're at wrong angles. Some of them are pointing in one direction, some are sticking out a little. And Dan, you suddenly realized there was something wrong, but you weren't really aware of it. But now you feel that your teeth are all completely fucked up. They're in places that they really shouldn't be. You can do another sanity roll.
I'm assuming I need to do one as well.
Yeah.
I know I'm not there. I'm just curious. Are they all at least in rows, or is it like, have like some in the middle and like some in the cheek, or
Some are pointing this way and some are pointing, and some are sticking out a little, and it's now that you know they're there, it's impossible not to keep running your tongue over them.
that is literally nauseating.
Jordan, what are you gonna do?
I'm out of the restraints now, right?
Yes.
I'll open the door and look out into the hall where I can hear the commotion.
Okay. Dan, if your room was number 1 and Anna's was number 2, Jordan opens the door that would be number 3, but on the opposite side of the hall. And he sticks his head out. What you see actually is a hand come around the door first, that has an extra thumb and is gripping a hold of that door as he opens it up and sticks his head out. And then what comes out is good old Jordan, but he's got backwards legs like a grasshopper.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah. Well, let's try to get Robert and get out of here and find someone who could punish whoever did this to us.
I'm just hoping none of this is real and we're all just in a big dream.
Mark, Robert, you think that you can hear somebody talking outside your door.
Hello?
You're still strapped down.
Is someone there? Please. I'm scared. Hello?
All right, hurry down to the hall and try to quiet him before he summons the guards, although obviously they don't worry about us.
Robert's room would be number 4 on your side. Who's going to open the door?
I'll open it.
Okay. Anna, you step forward to open the door. Dan and Jordan do a spot hidden roll.
I rolled 3 zeros, so.
Yeah, I pass.
All right. So Dan, you're staring at the door, and Jordan, Anna has an eyeball on the back of her head.
Oh, Jesus! This just keeps getting
looking
worse.
at you. Do a sanity roll. This is the sanity roll game.
No, that's a fumble.
All right. You can do a 1d4 because that is bizarre, and it winks at you. And Anna, you don't seem to notice that anything is wrong, and the fact that you're at the door and yet you can see Jordan behind you doesn't feel odd.
Doesn't register, yeah.
Until you see the look in his eyes, which is pure terror.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I go to respond and then don't. I look the other way.
Anna, you open up the door and you see Robert. He's strapped to the bed, but there is something horribly wrong. Robert's ears are distorted and pulled out. They almost have the look of like a bat. Bat's very strange ears. No, not quite that. Not that ridiculous, but his nose also seems to have been widened on his face. And thirdly, the weirdest thing of all is he has a zipper running down the center of his chest and stomach. And he's kind of thin and emaciated.
Oh.
And he's struggling. He's struggling to get unstrapped. You can do a sanity roll. Robert, you haven't realized these things.
That's a failure.
So,
no, I'm just crying because I'm scared.
You can do a 1d4, Anna. See if you fail. Jordan and Dan, you of course look in the door once Anna has opened it and she's recoiled. But Robert is crying and still strapped to the bed. What do you do?
We're gonna get you out of here. We're gonna get you out of here. And they've done things to us. You have to take some deep breaths before you look too closely. I'm gonna see if there's anybody in the other rooms.
Where are you going?
There's 8 rooms. I'm gonna see if there's anybody else trapped in here.
I'll go over and help start unbuckling Robert from his straps.
Okay. So let's call those 4 rooms 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Which one would you like to go to, Dan? You're actually really close to 8. That's right across from Robert.
But I actually like to go back down to the end where I was and to the
Okay.
opposite door and work my way toward the exit.
All right. Well, the exit's actually right next to where Robert's room is.
Right. So
all right.
So I want
you're
to
going
work
all the way
toward
back
it.
to that. Okay, I see what you said. All right, you go back there and you open the door, and you are immediately assaulted with the smell of rotting meat.
Unsuccessful.
You look inside, and there is a body strapped to the bed that seems to be rotting. And the most obvious modification on it is it has 2 heads.
And they're not moving?
No, it's long dead.
Good. I was afraid it was both moving and dead.
Smell something?
So I'm going to close that door. I've already taken 5 points of sanity loss.
That's okay. You need to take them all in one hit.
Okay, yeah. But should I roll for this?
Yeah, I think at most you're going to take 1 because you're already.
I know where I am.
Everybody.
Oh, and I rolled a 7, so I'm. Okay. One
Yeah.
more. All right. Okay, and the next door is also one that has.
The next one also has an odd smell. It smells once again like something died, but this time it doesn't smell like meat so much as more like a dead animal. And you can see that whoever this was, they were being modified almost like a wolf. They've bodies covered in hair, and they're dead.
These experiments are so monstrous. All right, and the next one is across the hall again to our side, right?
Correct.
Okay. Nobody so far, guys. I stage whisper at the front.
All right.
Go
This
open that
one,
door.
when you open the door, this one is almost sanity shattering. It's a person, a man, and his arms and his legs and his neck have been extended so that they're like 6 feet long each, and they're sort of draped all over everything. His neck is up and bent, and it's lying on the side table, and once again he's rotting. There are maggots all over his body. It's absolutely horrific and monstrous. You can do another sanity roll. Are you sure you want to take all the sanity? What are the rest of you doing while he's having these horrible reactions? Do any of you want to see?
Am I still tied up?
No, Jordan has untied you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my head out. Dan, are you okay?
They're all dead. They're all dead, and they're all
Get
different,
out of here.
and they're horrible. There's one more.
I'll look at it. Go take a rest.
Jordan, what happened to your legs? What is this?
I'm just trying not to think about it right now.
Oddly enough, Jordan, you seem to be able to walk okay.
I just imagine it like, because you know the way like dog legs are,
Right,
like
exactly.
that's the way I'm imagining it.
It's almost seems maybe like you're walking on your tiptoes, but your heel is way up here, and then your leg goes back this way.
That
It's very
must have been
strange.
one painful operation.
You wonder if you could jump really high.
I'll open the last door. Give
Anna.
me a break.
You go to the last door and you open it, and What you see is a human torso. It looks like maybe it was female. And in place of a head and neck, there is just a large mouth. It goes all the way across, shoulder to shoulder, dips down just a little bit. And it's filled with teeth, look like shark teeth. It's dead also. You can do a sanity roll. You guys are all terribly shaken.
We need to get out of here right now.
Wait, well, no one's told me. What'd they do to me?
Well, look down.
Look at us, Robert. Look at us.
I mean, I feel. Why am I so thin?
Thin with a zipper.
And I just like the slightest bit, like kind of like almost trying to move a feather.
Reach for you. Don't.
No, I was like, Tom, what does that feel like? Does it literally feel like I'm like with my chest?
It feels like you're undoing a jacket. How far are you going to go down?
Like that much.
Go a little bit. Yeah, it feels like you're just pulling down the zipper on a jacket.
And then if I like just like not like in, but like almost parallel, just like got like a finger in there, does it come out with blood? Or?
No, but you can feel there's a cavity inside.
I'm a hollow man.
Do you want to open it up a little more?
No, I don't know. If they did this to us, they can undo it. Whatever this is, right? I mean,
I don't think they're in the business of undoing this.
We just need to get out of here.
It's a nice thought, though. It's a nice thought. If we can figure this out, then we can undo these things. Let's hope. How's the door at the end of the hall?
It looks like an elevator door.
Right, but there are no buttons.
There is a button. Yes.
Only one.
Right.
Up? Well, I guess it has an arrow.
There's an up arrow.
Okay. Is there a light above the door?
Yes, there is. It's an elevator door.
I assume we're all following, or?
Well, we're all bunched up because it's right outside your door. Here's the thing. Do we want to try to get in the elevator, which will have a camera in it? Or do we want to try to pry the door open in hopes that we can, I know that the elevators aren't really like in movies with like convenient ladders and stuff.
No, they're not. If we get into an elevator, they could easily trap us in there. We should try and use stairs if possible.
Yeah, there's no other exit. Do you see an exit sign? Do you see a fire ladder? This is not a legitimate facility.
No.
We are in a underground prison, being mutilated by maniacs. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably would have done better with the visual. So I get that there are 4 rooms on each side of a long hallway. Elevator at the one end. Basically the short side of the rectangle. What's at the other short end of the rectangle?
Nothing. Just a blank wall.
I think we just have to take the elevator.
Yeah.
Either pry it open and use the shaft, or just take the elevator.
I think we should just try and take the elevator. You really don't want to go in an elevator shaft.
Okay, I've got this lamp to whack somebody with. Everybody should grab some weapon. Yeah, I've got a third arm.
Was there anything in the drawers, in the bedside tables?
Nothing.
Okay.
No,
but grab part of a bed or take a lamp or.
Right. Yeah, I'll take my lamp too.
I'll take my lamp.
Don't go in the empty rooms. They're really not.
Believe you.
I guess they're not empty then.
No, they're not.
All right. So are you all going to take lamps?
Is it also possible to remove the straps?
Yeah. Now that you're undone,
we should take straps, because we find someone, we might need to restrain them, either because they're going to be freaked out like I was, or they're the bad guy.
Can I make a sort of improvised knife using the broken glass and cloth from my outfit?
Sure.
Kind of wrap around for a grip. Okay.
Yeah, I think you could do that. In fact, once you've broken the glass, you could use the sharp edge to cut the straps off if you wanted to. All right.
And we haven't found a camera. How about ventilation? Are there vents?
You don't see any ventilation.
I have an idea. The bed. Can we tear into the mattress and get at the springs? We could like straighten them out, make them into weapons, or use them as lockpicks or something.
Well, you realize that the mattresses are only about this thick. They're foam rubber.
Oh, they're just foam rubber.
Okay.
Okay.
The bed frame underneath, however, is metal, and it does have flat metal straps with little springs on each side.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some of those. Like we can use these to MacGyver something later or something. Just try and gear up a little bit.
All right. So put those into your inventory. You've got those.
If anyone needs help holding them, apparently I have a cavity.
Dan's got an extra arm.
There you go. So, Tom, nothing in this place so far is reflective, though. Like the metal doors, they weren't like stainless steel. They were.
Yeah, they were stainless steel. All the doors are kind of stainless steel.
So, would that mean I could actually see somewhat of a reflection of myself?
They're kind of dull, so you really
Dull,
can't.
okay.
They're not shiny. So
we're geared up. Is there a bell when we press the button?
From this point on, before you hit the button, David,
Who's David?
You may increase your strength by 20 points. Holly, you may increase your climb by 20 points. Mark, you can increase your dexterity and your jump by 20 points. And Robert, you can increase your listen and I guess whatever. If we ever do smell, I still think we need a smell on here.
Well, I could just type in. What would the default smell be?
We'll make it spot hidden.
And how much am I increasing those by?
20 points.
If I do that, I will be at 100 for both of those, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay, so
yeah,
I gear and smell everything.
Actually, also anyone with limbs. Let's see. Extra thumbs. No. I think the extra arm is the strength. Okay. All right. You hit the button, and the light lights up on the elevator. And after a few moments, there is a ding, and the doors open, and it's a standard size elevator. 3,000 pound capacity, whatever. Just like any other elevator. There seem to be a number of buttons for floors, like maybe 5.
Arabic numerals.
Yeah.
No inspection sticker, obviously.
No.
No obvious camera either.
No, you don't see a camera.
Corner camera.
Are they just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Correct.
What floor are we on? Does it indicate?
You seem to be at the bottom.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, is the Braille numbering also next to the numerals?
I was going to say that. I was
like, is this ADA compliant or not?
Probably the Braille is there too.
At this point, I'm like, well, that's nice. They thought of the visually impaired.
Probably they would take eyes out of some of this.
Yeah, but then they taught you American Braille. I don't want to think about it.
We go.
How has our hair grown?
Yes. Yeah. You're do an intelligence roll.
Hard success.
From the wounds, from the work on your bodies and stuff, and your hair growth, you might guess it's been about a month.
It's amazing.
Well, missed the climbing festival.
So if we're at the bottom, we should go to the top. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I want
see-
out of here.
I don't see any reason to stop anywhere. I assume that the top floor is ground level.
So would that be 1 or 5?
1.
Well, whatever the opposite of what the number is that's lit up while we're here.
It seems like you're on 1.
Yeah,
So
let's try
we're
5.
on. Okay, then we'll go to 5.
Okay.
I guess I'll push it. Push.
You start up. The elevator seems to go kind of slowly. It goes, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you hear the little ding, and the door opens, and you're looking into a corridor that seems to go off in the distance, maybe 100 feet or so. There are a few doors along the way. This does not seem to be the same. It's not steel doors, and it's almost like an office.
But there's no natural light, I assume?
Still no windows, correct.
It's one hallway with doors on both sides to another elevator, or?
You can't quite tell. It's a little far away, but you're thinking maybe there are doors down there.
Carpeted?
No, it's like linoleum.
Right.
Let's try the first door and see if there's a phone or something.
Okay.
Good thought. Also, food, water, bathroom.
You get to the first door. Do a luck roll.
Uh-oh.
39 is a normal success.
Okay. The door opens, and you look inside, and it seems to be some sort of a lab. There are shelves with chemicals. There are shelves with empty beakers and flasks and things like that. There's a table in the center where there's some equipment that's been set up, but there's nobody in there. The lights, you probably flip, it's dark, so you flip on the lights and fluorescent lights light it all up.
Lab, but not surgery?
No, it looks like a chemical lab.
Are there individual work desks?
It looks like maybe only one person works in here.
And no telephone?
Oh, you don't see a telephone, no.
And no fire alarm?
Don't see a fire alarm.
And no external windows?
No external windows.
Part
lots and lots of junk. I mean, lots of things.
Yeah. And I'm not a chemist. Part of me thinks we should just hide out behind the door here and kill whoever comes in first or take them hostage. But maybe this place has been abandoned. Do you want to just go down the hall?
Well, we should keep looking.
And we could use that as a last resort.
Yeah, and I don't know much about chemistry, but maybe something in there would be useful. I think what we should also look for is like notes or stuff,
Right.
like how they did this to us. So, I mean,
oh yeah, are there computers on the desk?
Mm-mm. But there are, what do I want to say, like shelves with books, or not books, but binders with stuff in them.
Notes or protocols or whatever. All right, I'll take down I'll take down a couple of these and look through it to see if there's pictures of us or.
I'll grab one with you. Yeah.
Okay. I think we should move quickly though. So.
Yeah.
I'll keep moving down the hall then.
All right. So you're going to keep moving down the hall. All right. As Robert and Dan are looking through the books, Robert and Dan, what you're encountering almost entirely are chemical formulas, and occasionally there'll be notes that say things like remarkable, and I didn't think that this would work, but it does. and things like that. But you don't have chemistry, so I suppose you could roll a science roll, and you got 1% chance.
I did roll 3 zeros once, so it happened.
Tom, am I rolling as well?
Sure, you're looking at 1. I mean, it's a silly your chance of getting an 01.
I guess I missed that one on the Discovery Channel or whatever. No.
It feels like we're like at area 50, whatever it is. And
no,
like
I don't believe in conspiracy theories.
Well, neither do I, but I don't believe. I mean, and I turn around and like clutch his gown with my third hand. Like, I don't believe it's possible to sew a third hand onto a fucking human body.
You are rather dexterous with that. We should keep looking, though. We need... time is short.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Unless we find food and water and answers. So I keep moving down.
Okay. Well, Anna was already going down. Jordan, were you going with Anna?
I'll just look at any rooms to the opposite of where she's looking.
Okay. All right. So, well, Anna, you open a room, and this is a rather large room. You almost think of it as like your first thought is like an indoor swimming pool. There's no water in the pool, and it's not that big. It's maybe 20 feet by 20 feet or so, but it's definitely a pit. And when you go over to the pit, you see a couple of things. There's like a chain lift hanging over the pit as if to lower something into it. And the pit itself is physically damaged, and there are blood stains all over the inside of the pit. They look old and dried, but there's also a number of seats around, almost like spectators. It's very disturbing. You can decide whether you want to do a sanity roll or not. And if you lose, then you lose a point of sanity. Jordan, you open your door, and this is definitely a place where they have stored specimens. There are large acrylic tubes that have body parts in them that seem to be suspended in a yellowish sort of liquid. The liquid almost has a fluorescent yellow quality to it that the fluorescent lights make almost like the liquid glows. And you can see that some of these body parts, arms, legs, and so forth, are twitching. You can do a sanity roll.
Absolutely. I'm assuming there's no notepads or anything like that left about. Oh, that's a pass.
Do a spot hidden roll for me.
I passed on my sanity, by the way.
Okay. So you just take a point of sanity loss.
Oh, that is an extreme success.
All right. You're looking around, and you do find a small, thin binder that looks like it has a lot of notes, chemicals that have been written out, and so forth. And you can see that they're older notes. The paper inside the thing look like they're at least that it's old and yellowed, but you can still make out all of the notes. The author up at the top of the page, whose name is there, is Herbert West. Who you have no idea who that is.
What an interesting fellow.
All right. Robert and Dan, you don't find much other than incomprehensible chemical formulas and stuff like that. All four of you leave your respective room, unless you're going to do something in there.
Do I see anything that clearly says acid, sulfuric?
Do a spot hidden for me.
It's 100.
Oh, yes, you see sulfuric acid and other forms of acid as well.
Technically, it's always 99, but that's great.
Okay, that's true. Let me roll. That's a 6. So
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Sorry to waste your 6.
Yeah. Does it look like it's sealed up well enough, or is it just in like a loose bottle? With
it's a brown, light resistant brown bottle with a white label on the side and a screw top.
But it screws okay. It's not going to accidentally open or something like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a modern bottle. All of this equipment in here looks modern.
Okay. For now, I'll just grab this. This could always throw it at something unpleasant.
Okay.
We're all something unpleasant.
You know what I mean?
No, I do. All right. So,
are there more doors on here?
No, seems to be the only door. Well, the four of you then come out. Anybody else want to do anything in your respective rooms?
I want to get out of here.
Another floor, then?
Well, I mean, the corridor continues on. These are the first 4 doors you came to.
Should we just run to the end? And what do you guys want to do?
let's find out let's find out if there is a stairwell or a elevator, and then we can judge, right?
Tom, are any of these things marked? Like this is room 1, this is room 2, or it says lab, or?
Yeah, there's lab 1, lab 2. These are probably like lab 5-3 and 5-4 and stuff like that.
Well, they're labeling the rooms. That would then, and then if I look back towards the elevator, does it say elevator and like that, or?
Yeah, there's probably a sign on the wall that says elevator, and it points to the elevator. Wherever
this place is, they're labeling things. So we don't necessarily have to go into every room unless we want to. We should just keep going down this hall or the hall of another floor until we see something that says stairs or exit, right?
Yeah, more or less. Like anything that says exit, I'm gonna,
Well, let's.
And if there's a fire axe.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a room and if there's somebody walk by something that's like, ooh, surgery, or how I fucked up regular people. Yeah, like we'll go in there.
As you're standing there, you suddenly hear a ding. And you look back at the elevator, and the elevator doors open. And for a moment, there's something dark inside. And then stepping out into the hall, there are 3 classic zombie things that step out. They're almost blue-green, their faces. They're partly damaged. You can see one's teeth all on one side, and they're shamble into the hallway, and then they start moving towards you.
Well, guess what, guys? Run! Run! And I bravely run away.
Wanted to see the end of this hallway anyway.
Yeah, fleeing.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So you run down to the end of the hallway, and you can see that there's like a double door, like you'd see in a hospital. Are you going to run through it?
I think these are slow zombies.
Yeah, they don't seem to be moving very fast.
And the hallway was long enough that we couldn't see the opposite end. So we've gotten some distance from them.
Correct.
So I would like to, if there's unbarred double doors, I want to peer through them gently before pounding them open.
Okay. You look through, and it seems to be like a medical room. There's medical equipment in there. There's a medical table and various equipment around the room. Probably, for doing surgery. One of those big lights that's up here above.
It's a sterile-smelling, surgical-looking room that's lit.
Doesn't smell sterile. You can smell blood and other smells. Antiseptic. You can smell antiseptic,
but not just antiseptic.
And you're looking through the wall, through the windows and the doors.
Oh, there are double windows? There are those windows? Okay.
Correct.
Jesus, that doesn't look good either. Probably the way out. What do you think? Press on?
I think we should just keep going.
Well, you've come to the end, so.
Oh, okay. So
nothing is beyond the surgical room.
Well, you can't really see because you're not going in. You're looking through the doors.
Right. The other option would be to look at the two doors nearest the end and see if we wanted to make a stand in there. But
do an idea roll.
Are we all doing idea rolls or just?
You're all doing them.
I failed that.
That is, I don't know. I think that's a success. Hang on. Sorry.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. Jordan's like, I bet there's better weapons in there than these lamps that we're carrying.
Yeah, I have a regular success. So.
All right.
Okay, and we've
That's
got
true.
scalpels and maybe a way out.
Now, what did you say about windows? Are windows outside or?
There's no windows.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say.
We were looking through windows.
There's little windows in the doors going in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So we go into the non-sterile surgical theater.
Right. And you realize that there may be a way to bar the door, but you'd have to move some of this equipment around, and you're not sure you have really the time. Everybody do spot hiddens as you look around.
That's a fumble.
Regular success.
All right. Dan, how did you do? Down. Anna?
Regular success.
All right. So Jordan and Dan, you step into the room and you're looking at the medical table in the center and the light. And you can see that there are a number of things around like scalpels. There's maybe even a couple of bone saws, things like that. Anna and Robert, as you step into the room, Robert reacts first, but one of the walls from the wainscot up is mirror, and Robert, when you look into it, you can see what's happened, how your face has been distorted. And Anna, you're looking into your own reflection too. So
I think I'm just gonna fall on my knees, being like.
I think Dan and Jordan probably hear them react when they look into the mirror.
So is that a sand roll? That feels like a sand roll.
Sure.
I fear that poor Anna was looking the other way when she saw her reflection.
She might have been, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd look away, but I don't think that would help.
Yeah, the thing is that Anna, when you turn your head, you can see the eye in your head because you're looking right at it.
That's a pass.
All right, just a couple of points then.
Fail.
The zombies are getting closer, and they begin to. They're close enough to where they're about to pound on the door.
So, fire extinguishers, exit signs.
Yeah, there's some fire extinguishers. There's all sorts of things. You tell me what would probably be found in a medical lab.
Are there gurneys we can push up against the door?
There's not a gurney, but there is the medical table itself. It's pretty heavy.
Guys, let's push the medical table.
Okay, it's a start.
Okay. With your extra strength and your extra fingers and your stuff like that.
Cover your ears, Rob.
It's going to make that screeching sound across the floor. All right. I'll say successfully you managed to do that just as the zombies start pounding on the door. Dan and whoever else is pushing the thing, Dan and Jordan maybe, do a spot hidden.
That's exactly a hard 25.
To fail.
Okay. Well, Dan, you notice out the window in the door that there are more zombies out there than there were before.
Okay. I feel like this is part of the experiment. I want to hurl a stool or something at that mirror.
Okay. Do a throw. Do a luck roll. Luck would be better.
Either way, I made it.
Okay. I don't see how you could possibly fail.
Right. I mean, you can, usually hit a window with a stool.
But luck, we'll see if it breaks. All right.
So that, 18 is a good.
You hit the window and it shatters. There's a terrible crashing noise and the glass falls, and beyond it is a dark room. However, you can see that there are people sitting in there. Then you hear a commotion from outside the door where the zombies are. They stop banging on the door, and somebody knocks on the door. You can hear them banging on the door like a hand, and they say, you can move the table now. I think you're beginning to figure things out.
What?
Let me in. I'll explain everything.
Well, we can talk to you now. Who are you?
I'd rather come inside and meet you face to face.
I'd rather you not have touched us. Who are you?
It's me, Dr. Lee.
I don't know a Dr. Lee.
The bus driver.
The bus driver, yes.
I'm bounding over to the broken glass to see who is in the observation chamber.
All right. As you do that, the lights come up in the observation chamber. And there's about 20 people, men and women. Most of them middle-aged to older. And they're in various forms of really tasteful, expensive dress. The men are in suits. The women are, nicely dressed. There's a couple of men in there in military uniforms. And they're looking at you. They're rather alarmed looking at you. And one of them says, please, carry on.
Carry on?
The military men, do they have slung rifles?
No. These people look like rich, wealthy observers.
I bet there's an exit in their room.
Do they have
I bet
food
there's some big
and
pieces
water?
of glass, too.
I say we
I'm
get
sorry,
out of
what
here.
was your question, Robert? Yes, there is a door inside. Yeah. Robert.
I'm just curious. Like they stand there with like champagne. Like, I thought they'd be pairing with the champagne.
Well, they're not with champagne, but they're definitely very interested in observing what's going on. They don't seem to be too alarmed.
I go up to the nearest one and I just say, "What is this to you?"
We're investors. What else would we be? And at that point, the door in that room opens, and your bus driver comes walking in. He says, please, everyone, this is not really too much danger. They're fairly fresh and they don't quite understand what's going on, but you can see they're still intelligent. They've retained their minds despite the fact of the things that have been done to them. I mean, it's quite an achievement, wouldn't you say? And some of them, nod yes. If
Are you going to undo this? What you've done?
Don't mind them, he says.
I'm going to bound through the broken glass and use my improvised weapon.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab
the first soldier I can.
Well, I was actually gonna go for the nearest weak-looking person because I'm pretty weak, and I'm gonna have my acid ready and be like, if you don't tell me, I'm pouring this acid all over this bitch's face. What the fuck?
Sounds like that order.
So let me give you the logistics before you do that.
Is it possible to get through the broken window is the first question.
Answer is yes. The people are sitting maybe 7 or 8 feet back. But Dr. Lee is right there where the broken glass is. He's actually turned his back to you and he's talking to them about his great achievement.
Don't hurt the doctor. We need him.
All right. So, Dan, you said first. So you're going to leap up, and what are you going to do?
The third arm seems very helpful for getting over a thing like a broken window. And it's just, if most of the glass went out and so it isn't handy, I've still got an improvised weapon, which is something like a steel bed slat with some broken glass lashed to it. And I feel like we have to take out the soldiers first if we want to be able to kill them all before we escape into the night.
Do you, would you say your character might have any kind of military?
Boy Scouts tops. Not.
I'd say you can probably tell from all of the things on their things, they're probably like generals or something like that.
Oh, even better. Yeah, so they're older military dudes. They're not. That's why they weren't wearing. I see. Yeah, still. I think. I mean, I didn't know that Dr. Lee was so close when I decided. But
that's why I told you.
I'll go to the audience because Anna's going to take out Lee anyway.
Okay.
And I think even a wizened old Dick Cheney is going to give me more trouble than one of the blue hairs.
All right. So do a jump roll, I guess, or a climb roll, whichever one you want to use.
I have climb of 50. No, 67. I've got a third arm to
that gives you strength.
Doesn't give him a third bonus dice.
I mean, you can use luck if you want.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, we're likely to be gunned down in a minute. So sure, 17. That's still gives me 43 luck.
Okay, so you leap up and you pull yourself through the thing. And you land on the ground right next to the doctor, but you're reaching for one of the generals. Okay.
Swinging, actually.
You're swinging your thing at one of the generals.
Sharp cudgel.
Okay. And Robert, you're also going to go through the window?
Yes, but I'm going for, like one of the ladies or there's like a scrawny looking dude because apparently I'm scrawny. So.
Well, let's say there's a lady there. She's got jewelry on. She's probably in her 50s or so. But
and so I'm trying to grab her and be like, I want my life back.
Well, let's get you in.
Okay. So you want me to roll?
Yeah. What do you have?
I have knowledge of Shakespeare.
Why don't you do a climb or a jump?
Okay, that was a 34. Let's see what that gets me. climb. Yeah. Oh yeah, 50. So,
Okay.
So yeah, that's a regular success. Or just out of curiosity, jump. No, we'll go climb. I climb.
You climb through the window, and once again you land right in front of this woman and reach out to grab her. Jordan and Anna, what are you guys going to do?
Do I have to climb through the window to take a stab at the doctor's back since he's right there?
Didn't he come through the zombie door, or did he come?
No,
No,
he came through the
door.
You
in
wouldn't
the
let him in that way, so he's come
auditorium.
around into their
Yeah.
door. No, actually, the wainscoting is only about 4 feet high. You could literally come up right behind
Yeah,
him
I'm just
and
gonna.
stick
stab
something
him.
in his back.
Yeah.
All right, do a fight roll, and you can do it with a bonus dice because he's not trying to stop you. Jordan, what are you doing?
And after all, he can't sleep up on her
Right,
any longer.
nobody can.
I'm looking for an exit through through the broken glass.
You
I
can
want out
see
of here.
one, yeah, but at this
I'm,
point, all three of them are kind of in your way.
I'll wait for an opening to bolt for the exit if I see one.
Okay, Anna.
Improvised weapons are what, like D3 damage, something like that?
Well, what is it that you've improvised?
It's a glass, like a glass shard.
Well, we'll call that a knife. 1d4 plus 2 plus damage bonus if you've got
3.
anything. All right. So you jam this thing right into his back, and he reacts by screaming, "Ah!" like this. And nobody in the crowd comes to his aid when you do that. And Dan, you realize too now that Anna has just stabbed him with something in the back, and he's screaming. You grab a hold of the general, and you're going to hit him with something. He puts his hand up to block. Let me see if he can block you. Might hurt him as he blocks you, and he says, "But wait. We can offer you quite a lot," he says to you. At the same time, Robert, you've grabbed a hold of this woman. You've got the bottle of acid. And the man next to her says, No, unhand my wife. He says, we're here for you. We're willing to help you out and pay you.
I was just a regular American citizen. I was kidnapped, and this was done to me.
We're all just regular American citizens.
No, because apparently you think it's okay to do this to people. So we're not.
We didn't do anything to you.
No, you're just observing.
This is the first time that we've seen Dr. Lee's experiments. He called us.
Did he strike you as legal experiments?
Anna, you've stabbed him in the back. What do you want to do?
All right, I want to vault into the room, and I'm also headed for the exit too. Like I've left it in his back, and I'm gonna book it.
Okay.
Give it a good twist, though.
Do a climb roll.
Hard success.
All right. You actually reach up and grab a hold of the doctor's shirt and use it to pull yourself into the room. And as you do, you end up flipping him back over into the room, into the lab. So he tumbles backwards, screaming into the room. At this point, these people, you now have clear access to that door, and the people are pulling back from you, like, they don't want you to hurt them, but they keep saying, the men keep saying, no, we can give you whatever you want, any amount of money. The experiment is more important than anything else. As long as you're willing, we can employ you even as you are. We could give you more money than you've ever imagined. What do you guys want to do?
Why should I believe that's worth your humanity? Then you should have had it done to yourself.
Well, but that's just it. That's why we're here. Don't you understand?
No.
Dr. Lee, for all of his insanity, has made you virtually immortal. He's also made you so that you have body modifications that change everything. We want to live forever.
But there's a bunch of dead people banging at the door. There's dead bodies downstairs. How do you know we're immortal?
He told us their previous experiments.
You believe a crazy man that we're immortal?
At
He
any
told
rate,
us
you
he
are.
told us you were all dead.
Excuse me?
He told us you were all dead. He's using some old formulas he found from the 1920s, a Dr. Herbert West, to reanimate you after he's done body modifications. It apparently seems to work very well. I mean, don't blame us. We thought that he was insane too until we've seen you. Your wonders.
Stab, stab, stab.
All right.
You're stabbing the people?
So Dan's
Yeah,
going to stab the general.
I'm starting with the general, and I'm going to move through the crowd.
I'm going
All right,
back
well,
to the doctor.
Howard, you said you're going for the doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can leap down into the room. He's trying to climb away.
No, you don't, Doc.
But without too much difficulty, you could beat his head in pretty much. You don't have any difficulty with that.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to beat him up. I'm trying to just grapple and be like, no.
You're trying to keep him from getting away. Okay, I'm sorry.
I need you.
All right. Dan, the second you actually stab the general, the other people leap to their feet, and definitely a few of the military men do have sidearms, which they pull out and point at you, and they're like, stop now. But they don't seem to be coming for that general's help. They're just defending themselves. And maybe their wives.
You'd better hope that I'm not immortal.
Jordan, what are you doing? Oh, you and Anna, you're running for the door? All right. Do a dexterity roll.
Yeah, hard success.
All right. How about you, Anna? The magical tree, magical chair.
Also a hard success.
All right. You managed to leap past them, past Dan, past Robert, and get to the door and open it up. And it's the first time that you've actually seen sunlight coming through windows in the distance. It looks like you are in some old medical building, maybe something that was in an asylum. You run to the front door and you open it and look out. There are a number of vehicles parked outside, probably those people. Some of the cars look expensive. And you are in the middle of the woods. You don't know where.
Gonna call back, Dan, Rob, we found the exit. Let's go.
I guess it depends on whether I can hear her over the screams of the general whose throat I've just gouged.
Yeah.
Whoever is closest.
He's oddly not fighting. I mean, he's trying to fight you off to save his life, but he's the kind of gritty fellow who doesn't scream when you're beating him up. A few of the other people are trying to make for the exit as well.
Yeah, unless I can hear them clearly, my feeling is like grimly execute these monsters who want their own lives.
You can do a listen roll to see if you hear them.
For a psychologist, I'm not a good listener. I rolled a 97.
You're very busy at the moment, having
Yeah.
psychological
It's been a rough day.
satisfaction beating the shit out of these people. All right. Jordan and Anna, you're outside. Robert, you are inside. You have the doctor pinned to the floor. He is bleeding. He's got a pool of blood behind him because you stabbed in the back. Dan, you are trying to kill as many people as you can, but some of them are getting out. That extra arm seems to work pretty well for grabbing 3 people at a time. Anna and Jordan, what are you going to do? You are outside. Here's all those cars. You don't know where you are. There's a road.
I say we team up and find a car. I can't drive. Can you get us out of here, Jordan?
I can drive, but not with these legs. Well, I guess I maybe could. It'd be a bit difficult.
Well, let's try to find a car. We'll figure it out.
Luckily, if she sits on your lap, she can see forward while you pedal backwards. It would take some practice, though.
That works.
Well, do a luck roll. You can both do luck rolls.
Yes, pass.
Okay. Jordan finds a car that the door is not locked, and the keys are in the ignition, and the 2 of you manage to speed off unless you're going to try to get the others first.
I'll start blasting on the horn for them.
Dan, you could probably hear that. Let's see. What did I say? There was about 20 people in here. I'd say that at least 8 of them are getting past you, but the other ones you are punching and subduing and slashing and everything else. Robert,
is the doctor still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
I'm just saying to him, "Can you fix me?"
Fix you? But I did fix you.
Change me back to look like a normal person.
And he sort of rolls over and he says, you don't understand at all. And he reaches up and he grabs a hold of your zipper.
No.
And he pulls it all the way down. And he reaches inside you. And he pulls out a teddy bear that's holding a little red silk heart. And he says, "Who else can do that?
Can you make me look normal?" Love the pause there, Tom. That's awesome. Like, what did you like to know?
Do a persuade roll. Or an intimidate.
All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm. Wait. I can spend luck.
You can.
I spend enough luck to make that a success.
Okay. So you twist his arm, and he starts begging you to stop, and says, all right, I'll fix you. I'll fix you.
Good.
Dan, what do you want to do?
I think this is a role question. Maybe something to do with POW, because I want to burn this place down and bring the authorities here, but I also want to kill the people that I can kill. And right at the immediate second, I'm like, I just want to kill all these evil people who were responsible.
Okay.
Is that a power roll, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you could say it's willpower. Which one do you want to do more?
Well, the reason I think it's a dice thing is because it's like, I have a forebrain and a back brain. Like right now, I just want to like murder everything because I'm freaked out and these smug idiots. But of course, the higher goal is to get out and really fix it. If I just kill everybody here that I can, some of them have already escaped.
since killing is usually opposite of what a person would really want to do, let's say roll a POW roll to see if you have the willpower to resist killing everyone.
That makes sense. And I made a 59 for 60, which is very much in keeping with how ambivalent I would feel.
So maybe getting the fuck out.
Yeah, and the
horns,
the core horn, like, because I do, and we have a group solidarity feeling. So yeah, I throw down the banker in hand, and I yell back to Robert, like, "We're getting out of here. Get out! Come out with us. We have to burn this place down." But I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to head toward the door.
Right. So Robert, you hear him say that as he goes out the door.
We need the doctor and his facility to change us back.
He's already gone. All right. So Dan, you managed to get outside and you join Anna and Jordan, and you wait maybe a few minutes, but then you drive off. Robert, the doctor. Let's see. I'm going to turn this into a roll. Do an opposed intelligence roll. So
okay.
Roll your intelligence.
Come on, dice, work with me. That is. Oh no, that's a success.
Yeah. What? How?
53.
Okay. I think I got a little better than you did.
I'll spend luck.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
What is it, Tom?
You spend your luck. The thing is that what's going to happen is he's going to get you. He's bleeding badly, but he's going to. You're twisting his arm. You're forcing him to do it. He's going to try to get you into a position where he can gas you again. But you realize that. You realize that there's no way to fix you without gassing you, and that once he gasses you, he can just kill you.
Yeah, I had a thought about that. Can I tell you what I was thinking?
What's that?
See, my plan was he's bleeding, he's weak, he's injured. I was going to lock him in a room, making sure he doesn't bleed out and die. And when he's really weak for months, maybe even years, if I'm truly immortal, I'm barely keeping him alive, just barely. And meanwhile, I'm studying the books. I'm trying to learn chemistry. I'll ask him questions every now and then. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm not trying to learn his process. I'm trying to make a poison only I know the antidote for.
I don't think that you would have the education to be able to do something like that, at least not before these three alert the authorities and have them come back.
Then I tell the doc, I hope you're a good marathon runner. And we're running away. Maybe we'll grab a car. I heard Mexico's nice this time of year. They have bats in Mexico.
Oh, you're taking the doctor with you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And you can't sneak away, Doc. I'll hear you.
So at this point in the story, you go off into the night with the doc, and the rest of you manage to get away. And that's pretty much the end of our story. You could come up with, you guys would be freaks. You probably go on talk shows and stuff and end up making quite a bit of money in the process. Meanwhile,
in Tijuana,
when the authorities get to the lab, another organization seems to show up called Delta Green, and they manage to clean up all of the equipment and stuff and gather together all the formulas and run off. And that's the end of the story. So it's kind of obvious what happened.
it was all a dream.
Carmack,
West.
Dr. Carmack Lee, had been experimenting for some time, and he was basically catering to rich people who wanted to live forever. Now, the way he said it was a bit misleading. The point is that he could replace body parts effectively, and that he could reanimate your corpse. That doesn't mean that you couldn't be damaged beyond repair, but effectively he could keep these old people alive forever because he could just keep giving them more of the formula and slowly replacing body parts with younger body parts. He had probably done research and eventually found Herbert West's formulas and had been modifying them and working on them and for years and years and years.
So do I eat or sleep?
You're hollow. You're the hollow
I got
man.
that. I got that. So
I thought the bear was a nasty. I was waiting for you to pull the bear out when you were in your room. What the fuck is this?
That's what I was going to say. You're like a big teddy bear.
So does that mean I got to be careful of like strong gusts of wind? I'll just blow away?
No, I mean, you're not necessarily light. You have no internal organs anymore. You're animated, so you don't need any of these internal organs. You don't have to eat or drink or anything.
Do I have a libido?
I don't know. It's debatable whether you have body fluids or not. So
you'd be a great drug mule.
I thought this is the nastiest picture.
Oh, is that Dan's mouth?
Dan's mouth. Yeah.
So are we all dead and reanimated?
Yes, you were all.
But he killed us.
Yeah, you were all dead at some point and reanimated. There you go. All right, let's finish up. Let's see. Our players included Holly Buto, Mark Anthony, David Gassaway, and Howard Freeze, with myself as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the fine arts of gameplay and game mastering. There's a link below. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.